Hi there. In this episode, we'll be covering the hidden purpose of a good book. Good books can be so meaningful for both the author and the reader, and it's so special to empower others. You can reach so many people with a book, but it's important not to rush the process. It's important to get it right. It's important not to just write a book, but a good book. By the end of this video, you will learn how books can help you build your brand and your network, and the power of infusing your book with lessons or takeaways. And stay tuned until the end of the video for an opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. How do you reach others? How do you empower them? How do you help them? How do you inspire them? You know, when you have one-to-one conversations, maybe you mentor somebody or you give them some advice, it's very limiting. You only have so much time in a day to be able to reach so many people. But when you put your messages and lessons into a book, you can reach so many more people. You can multiply your expertise, you can multiply your impact, you can connect to so many new people that you didn't even know existed. And there's a deep feeling inside about that. There's a deep feeling of power and impact. I think about my friend Jonathan Stanley. Jonathan was doing a book signing at a Barnes & Noble location near his house in Pennsylvania, and somebody recorded video of him at this book signing, and it went super viral. His book was called Purposeful Performance. It's about leading and succeeding in the workplace and purpose in the workplace. And this thing went super viral. And his book sold so many copies within a week, 10,000 copies. It was a national bestseller. He instantly overnight went from 1 to 750,000 TikTok followers. And just seeing the impact his book had, this book helped people come back from the brink. It helped people to heal and to empower themselves. There's so much power and impact in the book that he put out. And he was able to reach all these new people because of the book. Yes, there was the social media side. Some things had to fall into place first, but being able to connect his message with so many new people was inspiring for him and meaningful for him. And he's continued to carry that forward and, giving speeches to different groups and to companies. And it's just great to see when purpose can align with impact. And you can see that happen with a book. But think about that though. Jonathan wrote his book for people to find purpose, to help other people find purpose. And through that book, he was able to find purpose himself. He was able to take all these experiences he had, some of them not positive, some of them about, getting laid off and trying to find himself again. And instead of just wallowing in it, he used it to write. He used it to channel something deeper and to give something back. It was a lesson. I love the fact that he was able to take these sometimes negative things that happened during his career and turn them into impact, turn them into power for other people, something that other people can use and learn from. It's one thing for us to experience things, it's another thing for people to learn from them and move forward from them. And I think too often we just carry things inside of us without thinking, there's a lot of other people struggling with this too. I think about my friend Emma in similar light. Emma's a musician, and in 2023, she was in a motorcycle crash that left her with a traumatic brain injury. And she could have just gotten stuck in that place of disappointment, frustration, why me, all those things. She didn't do that, She picked herself up. She did a lot of self-work and a lot of healing and a lot of just deep, deep work to fix herself. And, she's now written a book that I'm really proud of, and hopefully you'll get to read it sometime soon. And it's just so special when we can turn our own struggles and our own issues into something empowering for other people, to inspire them, to motivate them, to give them a reason to keep going. So this process of writing a book, it's not just empowering for other people, for the reader, it's empowering for you too. It's a healing process. There's a healing element of writing, getting the words down, getting the words onto the page. There's a healing side to this. There's a progress side of it that you feel like you're digging deeper, that you're going places, that this is building towards something awesome. When you're writing a book, you're thinking about what's this going to do? What doors are going to unlock for me? So it's neat to see this two-side element in place where you're helping the reader and you're helping yourself at the same time. A huge element of book writing is to help authors build and promote their platform. It's not easy to stand out. in the world. It's not easy to stand out in your industry. It's not easy to stand out in social media. A great way to separate yourself and stand apart from other people is to write a book. A book means expertise. It means credibility. Of course, you have to do it right. If you write a bad book, it could diminish your credibility. Or if you plagiarize in your book, don't do that. Bad idea. It's going to hurt you. At the same time, building your brand and building your network is such a big byproduct of the book writing process. When someone wants an expert, who do they go to? They go to the people who've written the book. You want your book to be on bookshelves. You want your book to be in people's minds. You want to write the book that has an impact. And you can do that. You can do that if you dig deep within yourself. It's also a chance to get your name out there. Putting your name out there means recognition. It means credibility. Otherwise, you could be floundering. I think back to a book I wrote about a baseball player named Ken Caminiti. And, I spent a decade, 8 years working on that book, and then 2 more years before it was published. So I say a full decade, 2012 to 2022. And that effort, along with my baseball fandom, gives me credibility in the baseball writing space. I've since worked on other baseball projects because now I'm an expert in the baseball space, especially related to the 1990s. It's neat to be able to really figure out what our focus is as a writer, as an author, what our niche is, what makes us unique and different, what we bring to the table. And when you have a book and it's well received, that book got a star review from Publishers Weekly, and it got nominated for a Casey Award as one of the year's best baseball books. But I put in a lot of effort. I interviewed 400 people for that book. There was a lot of effort that went into it. I'm super proud of it. It's a reflection of what can happen if you do it the right way, if you approach things from the right perspective. Things can unlock, doors can open for you that weren't otherwise open. It was always neat for me after the book's release where I was getting invited to go to events, author signings, book signings. Organization Sabre, the Houston chapter, invited me to come speak to their group, and I flew to Houston and talked to them. And it was really meaningful for me just to be able to have that experience. I'm not getting invited without the book. The book is the door opener that allows me to build the credibility to be able to connect with new people. So think about your space. Think about what it means to author a book in your field, in your area, whatever it is. Could be business related, could be life related, could be anything. It's going to open up doors and allow you to establish your expertise in a new way. When we think about hidden purpose, hidden purpose of a good book, so often we start thinking about money, monetary rewards. Yes, it's nice to make money from a book. You're not going to make that much money from individual book sales, maybe $2, maybe $3. Yes, over time, if you sell 10 or 20,000 copies of your book, that will add up. However, if you can find one client, one keynote address, that will more than pay for what you would have made in book sales by themselves. So think about the doors that could unlock. And by doing that, think about what you can do sales funnel-wise, website-wise, building up your business or building up your platform or your funnel, making these things align so people are interested in going from reading the book to wanting to work with you or book you or do whatever, fill in the blank. If you can connect all those pieces together, good things can happen. Ultimately, I want you to think about the lesson or takeaway of your book, no matter what it is. What should the reader take away from your book? How should they carry forward in their life based on reading your book and hearing your message? If you can summarize that in one sentence and really hammer that home, that's going to go a long way in helping people to find your book, connect with it, and have the result and outcome that you want them to have. You really need to dig deeply on what your book is about and what the message is, what separates it from every other book out there. And if you can do that and have a unique creative book in this space, things are going to open, things are going to unlock. Those hidden elements are going to come into play that's going to allow you to take the next step into your expertise, your success in business, your personal growth, and you're just going to have more impact, being able to connect with new people and inspire them. To learn more about the hidden purpose of a good book, I'd love for you to check out my website. It's writeagoodbook.com. There you can find lessons and tips. You can subscribe to my emails. You can even book a strategy call with me, and we can talk about your book and the hidden purpose within your book. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.